Hello, folks. Phil Gallagher of ThrabenU here for another Legacy stream. Today we have a very special brew from Kinda MTG, who donated to see this Pirate Stompy deck in action. A little bit of history on the archetype. The Pirate Stompy or Popeye Stompy deck was originally made legitimately as a joke. Bob Huang and a number of other prominent Legacy names decided to see what would happen if they circulated the idea that there was some sort of like hidden secret tech Pirate Stompy deck out there. And it got the whole community into a tizzy about it. And in reality, there was no such deck. But funnily enough, it led to a whole bunch of people trying to like brew and innovate to come up with that deck. And a bunch of people ended up 5-0ing with absolutely terrible cards in a Chalice shell. We're going to hope to do just that tonight. Except the printing of Hullbreacher now actually gives us like a legitimately very strong pirate. So most of the people focus on the fact that that's a merfolk, but it is a merfolk pirate. So what are we seeking to do here? Well, Hullbreacher and Chains of Mephistopheles work not exactly the same way, but similarly in that they're very good against cantrip-based things. So one of the things that we're looking to do with this deck is set up ridiculous wheel and deal scenarios where we get our opponents to discard their hands and then draw 7 cards, but we prevent them from drawing those cards with something like Chains or Hullbreacher instead. And it's like ultimate shenanigans. We mind twist them, draw some cards, and if Hullbreacher is in play, we also get a whole bunch of treasures. So that's the dream with this deck list. And shout outs to my friends at Card Hoarder as well as Truckus123 on Twitter for going and making sure I could get the Hullbreachers in order to make this stream happen. As far as the rest of the deck, we have a lot of the things that are typical of a Stompy shell like this. We see Chalice of the Void, we see Soul Lands, we see Chrome Mox, and that sort of stuff. And then we have a bunch of fun pirates to take advantage of Cavernous Souls, as well as Plague Engineer, because, well, you know, those 2019 cards are really dumb and really powerful. We've got to play with some of them. And the ones we've chosen are Plague Engineer and Force of Negation in the sideboard. Our sideboard is largely for unfair matches. We see Leylines of the Voids and a whole bunch of counterspells there, and a couple of Dread of Nights as well, because, you know, we need to make the Death and Taxes players suffer more. So YouTube folks, if you are excited about this, please take a moment to click like on the video. It helps the analytics stuff a whole lot, and it helps people find my videos. And we'll go ahead and jump directly into round 1. All right, our opening hand here is kind of medium looking. We have Wheel and Deal, but not a way to like enable it. We have a pseudo Dark Confidant card, but I'm kind of inclined to think that this hand is a mulligan. We're not really doing anything impressive or broken. This can do something broken, but slowly, so I'll go ahead and keep this one. Man, we have a Pirate Lord and everything. I'm just going to pitch my most expensive card here. Pitch the Hostage Taker. We'll see whether or not this this hand gets there. My opponent plays a creature on turn 2, and I draw a land in my next 2 draw steps. This hand's not actually all that bad. But otherwise, this one's a little questionable, but that's often going to happen on 6. Kind of the way it goes. Yeah, we're probably playing against Blue-Red Delver Bentley. Yeah, I actually legitimately didn't know this card was a pirate until I got this donation. Don't stifle me? Step 1 accomplished. I think I'm just going to get an Underground Sea here, because we're pretty likely to get Wastelanded at some point this game anyway. So, like, the card already hurts. Also, in terms of mini stream improvements, I've tried to make it so that I have all of my Moto shortcuts on my mouse. So hopefully you should not have to hear very much keyboard clicking ever again. Good night, sweet prince. My opponent may take this opportunity to brainstorm while I'm tapped out and can't play another Hullbreacher. Nope. They've just taken this opportunity to fetch, maybe because of opposition agent. Fine and Andy, you're here. I know you're going to enjoy the pirate talk tonight. I'm prepared. I may or may not have already made the YouTube thumbnail. Spoilers, it involves me in a pirate hat. Alright, I think I wait to eliminate this on my turn to play around days better. Please resolve, please resolve, please resolve, please resolve! Uh-oh. Alright, so now I am playing the awkward Stompy deck versus Rogue Delver with the resolved Oko. Not the best position to be in. So it's possible that I'm supposed to name Elk here, but, like, the a 2/2 on the other side of the battlefield is already, like, totally fine against me. So I'm gonna name Wizard to try to shut off an Arcanist from attacking, or a Delver, or whatever. Also, it doesn't matter. I'm just gonna get Delvered. Yeah, the old Simic cards are pretty powerful in formats, based on what I've been seeing. I forget who it was. Someone on Twitter the other day was talking about Ice Fang Coatl as, like, an egregious card design that is not quite bad enough to get flack like so many of the other cards do. I am doing pretty well. Been really happy with the microphone upgrades and some of the content upgrades that I've been doing. Man, I tell you what though, I spent a lot of time yesterday doing content stuff. This might not be a thing for all of you, but I spent a lot of time recording historic videos. They had this Arena All Access historic event where you could just play with anything. So I recorded a week worth of, like, half an hour videos just kind of showcasing all of the cool stuff that's in historic. So I spent a lot of time, like, uploading those, tagging those, doing all that sort of stuff yesterday. All right. So you're telling me there's a chance. Yeah, Love Struck Beast. On that note, like, Brian is crushing it right now. I'm really... You dare take my pirate. Rude. Yeah, Brian is doing such great work right now in terms of content production. Um, a lot of the upgrades that you'll see on my end, you'll also see on Brian's end, eventually. So like we worked together to troubleshoot the image quality problem that we both had on our streams, and Bryant as well. Um, turns out that by messing with some resolution settings, we really had the opportunity to improve what our streams looked like. Oh yeah, nobody knows what cards are in historic. And like I'm only half joking there because there's a bunch of cards that are randomly legal in the format because Wizards has taken a syringe and injected them directly into the format. So like it is really hard to know what is legal in historic unless you just like look it up. All right. So this is the dream, right? This right here, what I'm about to do is the dream. Opponent has one card. Let's make it happen. This is for YouTube. YouTube, this is for you. Come on. Come on. I fucking need this. Okay. The bad news is I probably still like lose to this Oko that's on board, but like I did the thing. So let's either kill Oko or this pirate and then get a new card. All right. All right. Ruin Raider, don't ruin me. A Plague Engineer. All right. My opponent has found something to do. Okay. Food is 3 health. I should probably go ahead and just eat this now. Oh, baby. There's a chance. Oh, this is, like, really good, actually. This helps me not die to, like, Bolt and friends. Okay, hard cast Force of Will, that's fine. Let's name the wizard again. Now, do I attack? I think I'd rather trade Plague Engineer than Hullbreacher. So yeah, I think I'm good with an attack. Yeah, so the idea with Wheel and Deal specifically is that it allows you to do a whole bunch of things with the treasures that you have immediately. My first thought as well when I got this deck list was, like, should I be playing Days Undoing? Punish. And then I made that realization. So I think I'm supposed to keep the Hullbreacher and not the Plague Engineer. Like, I feel like that line was correct. Like, I shut off the Brainstorms, the Ponders, and the Preordains if my opponent is playing those as well. I'm now dead to a Bolt effect. Oh. Never mind. That's not as scary as it looks. So I probably just play this now before my opponent has any possible counterspell in their hand. Just go ahead and send this in. And attack. And now, whatever happens, happens. It's all about this Delver flip. So now I do need to fade something else that kills me. Oh, shit. That means that I don't have lethal anymore. Ah! The good news is I get a treasure. The bad news is I now need to fade another turn of Delver flipping. And, hmm. So, I can cast a Chalice on X equals 3 to counter the Uro. I need the Delver to not flip. And I need my opponent to not draw Lightning Bolt. Or Chain Lightning. Alright. Well, no, they didn't get to use the Sylvan Library, right? They have to decline that. Fuck! Alright, they killed me 2 different ways. They killed me by flipping and killed me with Lightning Bolt. What a match, though. Like, that was pretty silly. Alright, if memory serves, our sideboard is largely full of things for unfair matchups, so we probably get, like, Plague Engineer and Brazen Borrower here, and most of the rest of the stuff needs to just stay in the deck. I don't know that we want to be 2-for-1ing ourselves versus Delver. Ooh, Overvoltage. I missed the line of killing myself. Okay. So, what am I boarding out? Don't think I need this thing that makes my stuff unblockable. The Dark Confidant card is probably medium. This builds a small army. This is my lord, this is my lord. It's so sad that this is still in lightning bolt range. We need to control a Corsair captain to keep this out of lightning bolt range. Let's keep that in mind. All right. I think I like trimming a wheel and deal. I think I like trimming one of these, and I don't know. Oh wait, is that it? Oh yeah, I already pulled out the deckhand. Let's try this out. Yeah, so our opponent is the more mid-rangey Rogue Delver build, and that Uro was pretty backbreaking. This is a one-lander. That's no good here. This hand is pretty cool. I think the Brazen Borrower is going back. We're going to try to lead Ancient Tomb, Chalice into Hullbreacher and see if that works. Yeah, Ludwig. We don't have any of the, like, ones that are, how do I say this, templated to make your opponent sacrifice permanents. We don't have any of those ones. That's not to say they couldn't work in this shell. The donor just did something that was working in a very different direction. Oh, I've definitely resolved chains on stream, but it's been a hot minute. Like, probably at least a year since we've resolved the chains. I've played chains in the last year for sure, but they don't resolve as a general rule. The blue players do not like them. Yeah, I think last year we played like some Pox and some mono black control decks that had them in the sideboard. I haven't given it much thought, but assuming it works the way that like Narset does, you get your treasures. Damn, opponent's too good. Oh god. All right. We're just gonna hang out for a few turns and hope our opponent can't do anything. Opponent does not have matching wastelands. I'm not judging. I'm just throwing it out there. If my opponent just like resolves an Oko on this board, I think I just scoop it up for my sanity. No, I'm not judging because a whole bunch of the times when I borrow cards, there's like no thought given to what art I'm playing or anything. I just like ship it to card order and they send me whatever's in stock. Okay. So I get to use this Ancient Tomb exactly once, and I need to choose what I am using it for. I also have to choose which basic land I get with Polluted Delta. Whatever I do is pretty unlikely to resolve. I think I want black. And we're going to start by trying to get a safety net in play in case this gets, like, bounced or abraded or something like that. No, no, my colored mana is extremely important here. I need to protect my colored mana. The Ancient Tomb is not actually a good land for these decks in these sorts of matchups. Like, I'm at 15 already. A Delver or whatever that makes it into play doesn't have to do all that much work to actually kill me. And every time that I go and tap that Ancient Tomb one more time, or I fetch one more time, it's a little bit less work for my opponent to actually get me dead. Yep, that's the playset of Wastelands. Okay, Chrome Mox is awesome. So we're gonna put the Hostage Taker under that since that's both colors. And now I think I'm just gonna play the Hullbreacher on my opponent's end step, and then I can untap and play another threat. So this is just, like, incredibly likely to get dazed. Yeah, so the funny thing here is that I don't even know if I'm favored on this board. Who chains? Nah. Let's try to stick a threat. Please? So if you're looking to neuter Dreadhorde Arcanist, you name Wizard because there's overlap with Delver. Hold on. Are you saying that I have a grudge against Brainstorm? I don't know what in my history would make you think that I dislike cantrips. Alright, so let's go for Ye Old Eliminate. Oh my god, it resolved. I did not expect that. Seriously though, Brainstorm is a great card. I enjoy playing with it. It's a very skill testing card. I just have a problem, and I enjoy these creature-based decks too much. Alright. So, do I do a good play, or do I just cast Wheel and Deal? I know, you don't have to tell me. I just cast Wheel and Deal. This is for the YouTube, right? Also, like, lol that this is an instant. Let's go. Oh, right, okay. So, I discard my chains, and then I get a new card. Okay. Um, so this is fun. Oh yeah, I guess I could have done it draw step. It gives them one more look at Force of Will. I wasn't sure whether or not I should do that. I think I'm just gonna hold up playing Brazen Borrower. Oh yeah, I should look at what they discarded. Oh, they discarded a Wilt? What? Interesting. I would have maybe wilted the Chrome Mox at some point. Oh yeah, or wilt the chains and draw 7. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. Good point. Oh, okay, yeah. So I should actually be looking at order here, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Those were their cards in hand. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 were the things that were drawn and then discarded off wheel and deal. Pokimoki, you're absolutely right. And I don't get to hostage take this, which would be hilarious. I do think I'm just gonna like end this game, though. Like, let's just get this out of the way and then crash in. Oh yeah, this gives me a treasure token. You're right, I could have had them at 1 this turn and then shut off fetch lands. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you, I forgot this gave us a treasure. But doesn't matter. Alright. This one's gonna be a good YouTube video. I can just feel it. Oh yeah, and I need to keep recording because we didn't win the match. It felt like we won the match in my heart, but that was just game 2. So whack the record button again and keep it going. We're not going to change anything. Plan was perfect. Let's just execute that plan again. Do I keep this hand? So the second Chromox doesn't have text. This is a 6-card hand that can play an early hostage taker to take an opponent's thing. Otherwise, I play turn 1 Fathom Fleet Captain, which, like, maybe creates a lot of creatures. I don't know that this hand actually wins a good portion of the time. This feels like a good limited hand, but a mediocre constructed hand. But I have the Tomb, which allows me to play early things around days and an answer to their first threat. Eh. Eh. This hand's not great either. I'm going to go ahead and keep this one, though. I don't think this deck is probably going to be the sort of deck that does super well on 5 cards or below. Cavern's going to be good. Yeah, this is unfortunately similar to the first hand, but at some point you have to accept that you need to keep a mediocre hand because you need a certain density of cards in order to do anything. And I think that's approximately at the point where this hand is at. We're fetching the non-basic land here because if we get wastelanded, the thing that's going to get wastelanded is Cavern. Like, very unquestionably, the Cavern gets wastelanded over the Underground Sea. And so, since we have two other non-basics in our hand, our opponent will still have a wasteland target anyway. Oh, that thing. And I have to pay. I have to pay for this creature? Unfortunate. I also can't do anything with 4 mana, so I guess I'm just going to try to eliminate Oko. Oh, it worked. It's pay 2 to get the creature. Feels a little sad in comparison to something like a Hero of Bladehold. Like, I know we're talking about half the mana cost, but there's things like, I don't know, what is it? Carry Zev, the thing that gives you a red monkey when you attack. I don't know, I guess the monkey disappears. Yeah, so I don't want to be throwing away pieces of my life total, though, right? Oh, geez. Wasteland me, Uro, put in new Uro with Wasteland. It's a little rough. For things like Red Blast, if my opponent has that, I'm just going to put this in my main phase. Yeah, so remember what I was talking about last game? Like, every Ancient Tomb activation puts you closer to losing the game against a Delver deck. And especially when you're land limited or, like, are playing against a Wasteland deck, you really need to respect your life total. Now that my opponent has, like, Red Elemental Blast mana up, I think I just crash in with this and call it a turn. And then play either Hullbreacher or Brazen Borrower on their turn, depending on what looks better. I'm the monster? Excuse me, my opponent just wastelanded us twice in one turn. I did nothing wrong. Don't daze me. Fuck! Should have played the Chrome Mox. Not really, though. I think all of the cards in my hand are very valuable given the current situation. Yuck. His library buries me. Our token maker isn't great. I think I'm just going to pass the turn here. So I could do something like just bounce the library to buy time, but my Brazen Borrower is how I'm intending on answering this Uro when it comes back. And this is not a great answer to an Uro in the first place. Like, they already get their cards out of it, and yeah. And again, just every time... I wonder if this is the point where I just, like, put this Captain under this Chrome Mox. Then I can choose to not tap Ancient Tomb this turn. My opponent is also at 17 life. Our Fathom Fleet Captain did not do good work. I think he's gonna get a demotion. I believe it's a 2/2 token. Alright, so this is probably just straight up the point where I'm gonna lose this game. I can play an end of turn Hullbreacher that costs me 2 life. That would put me at 5 total life. Then my opponent will be attacking for 6 next turn. This has to be on chump block duty. Yeah, I think we can pack this in here. At round 2, I don't have acceleration, but I think I still keep this hand. I probably just lead basic island pass. And then go for chains on turn 2. You're playing against a powerful wizard. Yep. So now that I know chains is like 100% good against my opponent, I might actually want to lead on the Kitesail Freebooter first as sort of a distraction spell. And then try to actually resolve chains the following turn. Yeah. Okay, so I can take the chain lightning, and then this thing sticks around for a little while. Oh fuck, I'm gonna get wastelanded. How do I not get wastelanded? I need my opponent to use red mana next turn, so I probably need to leave them with the chain lightning or get them to use it. So I'm gonna take their daze. Hoping that that gets them to use the red mana. Basic Swamps, I don't know what that card is. This was a donor-submitted deck list, so that's one thing to keep in mind here. Alright. So I've resolved my chains, so they're preordained in hand and their preordain in graveyard are both going to be notably worse now. All right, now I know that my opponent has a Daze. Yeah, Tabitha, I think I'm going to end up doing it as a YouTube video. Um, I think it'll just work out better if I try to curate that content a little bit more. That's gonna be something that's gonna take some like research and real work on my end to do. Oh, that's great. So do I want the Plague Engineer to resolve with certainty? I probably do, despite the fact that like Pirate is good. Need to deal with this, and I know my opponent has Daze. Womp 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 womp. Bow. Fuck. Hmm. Yeah, feel pretty dead. So we successfully navigated through one really difficult spot in that we got our opponent to not wasteland us on a critical turn, but like our opponent is just straight up one of the better players of their deck, playing one of the best decks in the format. And look at the restraint here. They're not firing off this lightning bolt, they're keeping it until I play a creature. Like they know what's up. They think I'm comfortable throwing in the towel for game 1 there. Oh, don't look at the paper price of chains. It will just make you sad. Oh, unless you own chains, in which case it might make you happy. All right, Brazen Borrowers, Plague Engineer in. Um, let's go like Dock Hand out and let's fire Fathom Fleet Captain. He was like way too mana intensive last time around. Hey, whatever. Like, I've got a clip of me resolving a wheel and deal with the chains in play. Like, we've already won the stream. Hey, thank you very much for the support, and I've been loving what you've been doing as well. Haven't had time to watch too much recently. I've been doing a lot of self-learning, lots of video editing, image editing type stuff. It eats up a lot of time, but I'm sure you know that. So the old mic is up here on top of a computer monitor, or previously it was down here on the desk, and then the new mic is right up in my face. Embarrassingly, it's sitting on some books right now. I will get a proper mic stand or arm of some nature sometime very soon. But I wanted to order the mic ASAP and start learning to use it. All right, Chains has resolved. Although honestly, if our opponent is smart, and spoiler, they probably will have just mulliganed to some creature-based hand, and they will beat me down, and it won't matter that I have this in play. That is a lot of stuff. Take the chain lightning here. My creatures aren't particularly safe. Like, between Pyroblast, Lightning Bolt, and this Chain Lightning that's also hanging out. Life is not really good. Opponent being super conservative with the Brainstorm, which I do like. I think I'm taking this hit. Yikes. Oh, right, yeah. Mental energy. Ignore the streamer brain there. I need them to tap this land, and if they tap that land, good news for Phil fans. I want to attempt to wheel and deal them. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. I'm going to grow this Tarmogoyf, and it's going to kill my Hullbreacher, aren't I? No, I can Brazen Borrower it back to their hand. Yes! This is beautiful. Oh no, I need to discard this. I drew another one. I apparently don't get the treasures. Oh, okay. So I think my opponent controls the replacement effects. And so they got to pick. All right. Lesson learned. Oh, and I fed them an ancient grudge. So this situation may have ended up worse for me than I thought. I ended up making that Tarmogoyf huge, which actually increased the clock. I thought I was going to get treasures, and then I could Brazen Borrower. But yeah, GG's. Playing against the man online. And I have a turn one... No, I don't have a turn one chains. I don't have anything... Or no, I do have a turn one chains. So it's put Dockhand under this, turn one chains, turn two wheel and deal. Okay, yeah. Okay. All right. This is the Pirates versus Mill match. Very common legacy matchup here. I know we've all seen it play out a bunch of times, but we'll go through the motions just for anyone who hasn't seen it before. um, Now I think I go ahead and play Chalice before Chains. And I should have considered playing Ancient Tomb to play around Days, but I didn't really think of that until after I started doing my turn. Sophie, thank you very much for following. Hope you're enjoying the content. I wish I had another black mana here so I could, like, very easily double spell. Yes, there is a potential scenario where this is just a Bug Hogak deck, and then, like, our Chalice gets Abrupt Decayed this turn, and it's super awkward. The thing there is that if our opponent's playing Hogak, the crab should have targeted them, right? Because they have stuff that they want to fuel in their own graveyard, and since the crab targeted us, that seems unlikely to me. Yeah, Zopmaster, agreed. So we're going to try to stick chains this turn and wheel and deal our opponent next turn. This is dual decks pirates versus crabs. I really, 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 really want to play this wheel and deal around a Daze. So I think I'm going to go ahead and Chrome Mox. I think I'm just going to get rid of this. I'll draw a new threat at some point. Then I'll pass the turn. And this time, I think I am going to go ahead and do it in their draw step. Let's try to get one more card out of it. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Crab. This poor opponent. They came here to have a good time, and then I showed up and started doing this shit. I'm not gonna search with this polluted delta for the rest of the game if I can help it. Archive Trap is a card that exists. Fun is a zero-sum game, right? That's how that works. Grab! No, no, no. We can't have 2 chains because we have 2 cups. Belchmaster has taken it on to entertain chat after I criticized one of the previous puns. That's fair. All right. We could choose to board in more cards. And go above 60. But I think our deck actually just gets worse if we do that. Eliminate is pretty medium. Dockhand's pretty medium. This dude's pretty medium. Plague Engineer, eh. I think I keep the eliminates for the crabs. I don't know. Maybe I do actually want this. Like, it's something that attacks through the crab. What do you mean this isn't real pirate, Stompy? Look at all these pirates. They ain't no fake Bob Huang pirate, Stompy. We didn't make this up for the sake of a really kick-ass article. I don't want to play that card. Let's board in one Plague Engineer because putting it on Crab is really funny. Eh? Eh? Like, this hand doesn't really do anything fast. It has a reasonable mix of lands and spells, but I'd really rather stick a Chalice on one if possible. Or like have a Chains or a Hullbreacher or something. I think I'll ship this one. I think I can find a hand of that same quality really easily. Yikes, okay. This is a hand where I just play a bunch of uncounterable stuff and hope that Kitesail freebooters are good. If we Kitesail freebooter and take some stuff like Archive Traps, like, we absolutely get good value. That timing is a little strange to me. Unless they have something like a Fatal Push that they very specifically want to turn on. Freebooter feels like the play to me over Chalice. Okay, I'm gonna have to read some cards here. Oh god. That card is terrifying. Hmm. Praying Sanity is essentially going to... God, that's each end step, too. Yeah, I guess we're taking that. Okay. I'm not scared. Praying Sanity is a really cool find. Like, I absolutely respect that. This is one that I haven't seen come up in conversations for Mill before. Oh boy, PC building. Good luck. God, another Clamps. I think I need to take the Abrade and leave them with Clamps, but, like, that does not feel good. Ah! Alright, so... The library's getting a little low. I need more of a clock. So this 100% needs to hit play this turn. And then it's a question, do I shut off future 1-drops? Or do I just eliminate a grab? I probably need to shut off future 1-drops in case they have cantrips. So we're actually hoping they draw spells, not lands. Great. Alright. We have officially made a zombie with this card. There's a chance. I think it involves us still getting a little lucky, though. Oh, neat. The zombie that I make also has Menace. Alright. Maybe I poo-pooed this card a little bit earlier. I didn't realize the zombie had Menace as well. Alright. So there go 6 of my remaining 10 cards. Whew! Alright. Pirates triumph over crabs. Round 4. I'm going to keep this opening hand. We do not have any acceleration, but Chalice of the Void into Hullbreacher into Wheel and Deal is a pretty attractive setup. as to not tip our hand too much, I'm just going to lead on the Underground Sea. This is a little awkward if our opponent just, like, snaps a Wasteland off, because then we don't have mana for things like Wheel and Deal and Eliminate. Nathan, why are we doing this? The reason is the same as always. The almighty dollar. Alright, well, apparently we should have played the fucking Chalice on 0. Alright, so we are playing against TES, not Ant. Oh god. Echo. Spies, thank you very much for throwing the support this way. I'm glad to know that spies support pirates in their efforts. We may or may not be dead. The chances are higher than not that we are dead, but it's not 100% guaranteed. Our opponent has 4 mana currently, and an Empty of the Warrens for some realistically large number probably beats us. Unless I... Oh no, I do have Plague Engineer, since I have a black source in play already. No, I guess Empty isn't going to beat us. They need to Tendrils. Really, I want them to make goblins, and then me get the Plague Engineer, just to send the clip to Bryant. You know. Just make goblins. Give me a turn. It'll be fine. What's the worst that can happen? Alright. Alright. And that game, we had the soul read. We had a Chalice on zeroed and then a happy camper. Alright. Let's bring in all of these and the Plague Engineer. I don't think we'll probably go Leyline of the Void deep. We do not want Eliminate. We do not want the Dock Hand, and Hostage Taker is largely probably not as good as most of the other creatures, although it can randomly steal a Wishclaw Talisman or a piece of artifact mana, so it's not just dead. I think we'll be okay on the game on the play. I think the game on the draw is going to be really hard. Oh, opponent says they like my videos. You're on a stream. Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting whatever mic stand or like arm I am going to get, because right now, like, just off camera there's a set of books that my mic is on, and so it makes it very awkward for me to try to type over this. Let's try to find a Chalice in our opening hand here. That'll do. Now there's going to be the decision of like 0 versus 1. I'm keeping this hand. I probably want to throw back the Ancient Tomb, oddly enough. If I play the Chalice on 0 to stop all their artifact mana, then I throw back Ancient Tomb, so I can keep things that let me cast Force of Negation easier. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. So there's one draw in particular that punishes me for throwing back the Ancient Tomb, and that's Hullbreacher. Other than that, a good portion of my draws are just totally fine and reasonable. Oh, hell yeah. That was obviously one of the better top decks. Alright, opponent has discarded an Echo. I can leave up a Force of Negation. But I'm not super sure. Yeah, I'm not gonna do that. This is gonna sound a little funny, but if I was playing a better deck, I would hold up Force of Negation. But I'm not, and so I think I need to respect the fact that I need to put a clock into play ASAP. Yeah, this 2 damage a turn thing is okay. Not great. For the rest of this game, I will probably hold up this Force of Negation. Hullbreacher is awesome. Super happy about that. For the sake of laziness, I am going to fetch now. I am just going to put this into play now. And that's so that I can increase my clock. If I put this in play, then I can attack with the Fathom Fleet Captain and get a pirate out of the deal. Yeah, now all of a sudden, I'm attacking for 7 next turn, followed by 9 the following turn. And that's just lethal. Popeye Stompy is tier 1. Well, we already knew that from all of the hype, but, you know, might as well demonstrate it for everyone who hasn't seen it before. And we are still going to pay for this and drop the Force of Negation. Because it's the difference between having and not having lethal next turn. Oh yeah, we have everything right now. I actually don't know what opponent could do to get out of this. Like, this is hate spread over 4 permanents in 3 different types. Like, that's rough. But again, I think the game on the draw is pretty rough. I have 6 things that can stop my opponent from going off on turn 1. I do have one of them. This hand is probably an acceptable keep. I have Force of Will, Pitching, Wheel, and Deal. And then I can play a turn 1 Kitesail Freebooter. I will need another land to make Hullbreacher happen early. Popeye Maverick when? What? How does that make sense? Oh, Ancient Tomb. Oh, that's awkward. That's really awkward. Oh wait, no it's not. Hmm. Maybe it is awkward. Yeah, I think it is awkward. I think I Chrome Mox, pitch Plague Engineer, Cavern of Souls Pirate, Kite Sail Freebooter, and keep Force of Will available. If I put Wheel and Deal under Chrome Mox, then I can't like Hullbreacher and Force of Will in the same turn cycle, which I think is a big deal. I will let that resolve. That's fine. All right, so they have Rite of Flame plus land. Okay, so they have Ad Nauseum, and they're super gonna get blown out here. Oh, the pirates get you. This lag our opponent conceding? That lag is our opponent conceding. Pirates! Pirates triumph over TES. We're on the draw. I'll be keeping my hand. We have a turn 1 chains, which is fantastic. Yeah. You like to see turn 1 chains versus island. We're going to get rid of a Plague Engineer in case the chains doesn't actually resolve. I would like to be able to cast a second chains if this one doesn't work. Yeah, so now that it resolves, it feels like worse to not have another Plague Engineer, but I think the upside is just like so very high of keeping the second chains in case we just get Force of Willed or Force of Negationed. Plague Engineer for Snake sounds pretty good. Yeah, but our opponent can just like jam an Oko here and then like I'm sad. Oh no, they didn't just jam an Oko. Well, that's fantastic then. Okay, so this is not optional. So we'll be playing this turn. There's a world where... Oh! JK, not Snoko. I have more chains. Also, like, I have Hostage Taker for fucking show and tell. Let's go. That is going to be so hilarious. Cast a show and tell. Put in a creature. Let me do it. Hunting Wish for Force of Vigor is going to be very good. Oh, that. Well, we can just take that. But we probably won't want to cast it. We cast it, it's going to end up in their graveyard, and that's no good. Also, is nothing sacred anymore? Like, this is a combo deck. And we just jam our O in there too. I get it. I do. And it's probably like very, very good. Just makes me a little tiny bit sad on the inside. So there is a world where I actually just eliminate this and crash in, and then keep this for a show and tell creature. But this like having this in play is like it's going to be something that's uncounterable, and it decreases my clock by a turn, which is probably pretty important. Oh, and I do want to fetch here, so I don't take Ancient Tomb damage. Yeah, eliminate for an Oko is potentially a very good call. I don't know if my opponent has like just just Uro or Uro and Oko. I don't know exactly what all they're doing with their flex slots. But I do know that our like Hullbreachers and Chains and Chalices will probably be pretty annoying. But their creature mid-rangey portion is probably solid. Now, now I start to get worried. Opponent is doing a lot of spinning of the wheels, and sometimes they're just going to be like cantripping for cantrips, but sometimes they're going to find, the missing piece, and now I don't have an answer to just like show and tell plus creature anymore since I used it on hostage taker. Shit. Oh no. Okay, they don't have it yet. They cast a brainstorm for free. God. Ah. Actually, this might not kill me, right? Do I have any outs to this to actually just kill them instead? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I would need 2 more damage somehow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can get rid of all of my lands, but then I can't play anything. The only way to get 2 damage is to play another one of these. So instead, I need to keep 1, 2, 3. I need to keep these and get another hostage taker. That's my out. I'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The Uro is a whole nother problem. Hmm. The Uro, I guess, just lethal. Ugh, God, that's so awkward. Like, I can rip a hostage taker, get the Emrakul, then I have to, like, chump block with that. Also, I don't get the hugest number of sideboard cards to help out with this. I get 6 counterspells, and maybe we play Brazen Borrowers. You go out. And I think I am supposed to board these out. Plague Engineer also, like, not good. The Eliminates are really good if they have Okos, though. That's kind of the issue with the current situation. But I think I'd rather have the counter spells to prevent them from just turbo going off, and I'd rather have Brazen Borrower to bounce something that gets into play than an Eliminate. While we're waiting for my opponent to finish sideboarding, I do want to say that I am looking for donation deck lists for the tail end of December and the beginning of January. If you're interested in seeing your deck featured on stream or on YouTube, a $15 donation is fine for any sort of like tier 1-ish deck, and a $20 donation is what I ask for like, the lower tier decks and decks where I'm expecting to lose a good number of matches, even though the deck might be fun. Um, Eep. A little sketchy. I have hostage takers for show and tell, but my opponent is more than likely to go for omniscience-based stuff if they can. I'm gonna go ahead and keep this. Unsure whether we'll do Kitesail Freebooter or Chalice of the Void on turn 2. A little awkward. So if they end up doing something like Soul Land, Show and Tell, it's way better to play the Freebooter. But if they just have a handful of cantrips, casting the Chalice on one is gas. I'm gonna go ahead and cast the Chalice on one. Can one of my mods ban that person, please? And that other person. Thank you, Fine and Andy. Oh man, we got 3? They come in waves. So I think I'm going to play the Freebooter this turn. It's not my most mana efficient play, but it's the thing that gets to take like an Oko or a Show and Tell or a Eureka now. Chalice is very good here. Cavern of Souls, very, very quietly doing amazing things here. Nice Fang Coatl, huh? It would be a real shame if a certain pirate had something to say about that. Alright, I get my treasure. That's cool. Alright, opponent scoops it up there. So we were about to have Miko Koro plus Hullbreacher active to start getting a whole bunch of treasure and cards, like, quote-unquote, for free. So I now know that my opponent has Veil of Summers. That's not surprising. I would have expected those to be in the deck in Game 1 anyway. It did confirm that they have Ice Fang Coatls, which will be annoying. That may be something that gives us a nod towards putting some Plague Engineers or Eliminates back in the deck. Like maybe something like the Lord is not necessary here. Like if I'm disrupting my opponent, that's good enough on its own. So like I can swap those for a couple of Plague Engineers and just have a few more things that take out Ice Fang Coatls. And the plan can just be to use Hostage Takers to answer Uros. It's a pretty weird sentence, but I'm good with it. This is a theoretical turn 1 Hullbreacher into turn 2 Wheel and Deal. I will keep this. It's a little awkward because I want to put I want to put Hostage Taker under Chrome Mox, but it's a very good card in the matchup. But this guarantees that I have both blue and black mana. Opponent has chosen to brainstorm in response to Chrome Mox for Hullbreacher reasons. Do I just Breacher now? Do I just Freebooter now, actually? No, let's just put the Hullbreacher in play. They have a counter spell, they can use it now. Nice. Alright, I missed on the land, so we can't do Wheel and Deal combo this turn. But I can Kite Sail Freebooter and at least see what's going on over there. Oh, this is the thing that makes cats. That's kind of cool. Yeah, I will take the one card I am allowed to take. Yeah, they drew Oko. That's slightly annoying. Now my wheel and deals look way, way worse. And I can't quite kill the Oko this turn. I can just bounce it back to their hand, though, and make them do it again. I think my line is bounce Oko, Tavern this thing in. So the Sylvan Library is active now, which means that my opponent can just find a piece of their combo and just like show and tell a Grizzlebrand. And they don't know it, but I am like very not good against that right now. They might think that I have a hostage taker since I was willing to put one of these under so early, and it is a strong card in the matchup. But that's very much not a guarantee. Ugh. So this is not a pirate, it's a fairy rogue. I'm going to go ahead and cast a Chrome Mox here so I can get another blue card. And to them, might look like Force of Will. No, I'm not going to hold that up, actually. Because I want to be creating another creature here. Mid-rangey stuff my opponent is doing is pretty good against me, but hopefully I have enough pressure where I can just power through. They have like Oko and Ice Fang and this cat thingy. Oh, we just get there. Whew. Feel a little lucky that we beat that pile of new cards there. We ended up positive in this league. I'm not gonna say that's a miracle, but I am very happy with the result. Yeah, Captain QC. Turns out that just playing a bunch of really powerful cards and making your opponent respect them while also respecting a combo is just really, really good. Kind of harkens back to some of the things that something like Modern Splinter Twin might be doing, where you jam haymakers like Thundermaw Hellkite and Keranos, and also make your opponent live in fear of Kiki-Jiki and Splinter Twin. Yeah, so I don't think all of our cards were necessarily good this stream, but the redundancy of Chains and Hullbreacher plus like draw 7s was actually pretty good. So I conceptually like Chains plus Hullbreacher plus Wheel and Deals, but I really wonder if a lot of the rest of the stuff here is what's ideal to support that. Like, I wonder if you can play something like a blue, closer to a blue-black. I don't quite want to say like the Urza Echoes deck because like you want to be drawing the cards there or something like that. But I wonder if you can take this core idea of Chains and Hullbreacher plus Wheel and Deal and take it somewhere further. I also think you're probably supposed to play something in the sideboard other than Dread of Night. Our sideboard cards are like kind of generic, right? Like we have forces of various natures, we have generic bounce spells, we have generic graveyard hate, and I kind of want to round that out with some more generic creature hate rather than something that's more or less specifically for one matchup. So I'd like to make this something less narrow. I'd like to pull the Departed Dock hand to just play some other card, like maybe just another one of the Fathom Fleet captains or something like that. This was my first card I boarded out just about every time, and I don't think we can afford the mana cost of like going and activating that on a regular basis. Pirate Stompy has finally moved up from being a meme. Yeah, moved right on up to the 3-2 finish. YouTube folks, I hope you enjoyed this one. If you have made it this far, please go ahead and click the like button. Maybe leave me a comment about something you particularly liked about this deck list, especially if you have thoughts about other ways that this deck list could be improved. I really would appreciate that.